Chris Roberts here for Fight Up TV. I'm joined by George Groves. How's things?
Very good, thank you.
Good. How are you enjoying your retirement?
I am. I'm loving it. It's maybe I'm still in the honeymoon phase. Who knows? It's only been a few weeks, not even that long. But no, I'm enjoying. I've been out of the gym since the last fight, obviously. So I've been enjoying being at home, spend some good time with the kids and with the family, with my missus. But also being involved still involved in boxing. You know, so I work at Wasserman, who as an advisor to their fighters that they work with, and they got Big Baby Miller. So press conference today, come down, get engaged with it, and sort of living it through them guys now. You know, so being on the sidelines watching it, and seeing a bit of back and forth chitter chatter. Right up my street. That's what I appreciate the most.
You seem in a good place, mate. To be fair, what was that sort of process like from obviously your last fight? You know, with Callum to kind of where you've arrived now. Has there kind of been ups and downs? What's
you sound and look a lot like Callum right now. Looking up at you, I think bloody hell, I'm getting bad with flashbacks. But no. For a long time before I actually retired, I knew that I was going to keep going. I achieved everything I wanted to in boxing. You know. Was financially secure. I'm lucky, I'm blessed to be in that situation. Not all fighters are. I'd won my world title, been involved in some huge fights, and I knew that I'd just keep going until the wheels come off. And to be honest, I had that tournament, and that was motivating for me. And once that was finished, I was sure I was going to finish anyway. So that was going to be my last fight.
So that was kind of already in your head a little bit.
And you know, you don't want to be them fighters that talk about retirement. You know. It wasn't the one more payday. So I was still motivated because I wanted to win that tournament. I wanted to become Ring Magazine champion. I thought I was going to win more belts because I thought world champions were going to go into the tournament when I signed in. So that was there for me. That was great. But win, lose or draw, you know, once that was done, I knew once the wheels come off, you know, once something went wrong, my desire had left me to fight, and I wanted to pursue something else to get great at something else. I'm not sure what that will be and if I'll ever do it, but. Losing to Smith in Jeddah, you know, it was definitely that closure that I needed to walk away from. For me personally, you know, a fantastic career where I achieved everything I set out to achieve. My bucket list was ticked off, and it was the right time for me to leave the sport. I didn't want to hang on in there, fighting for fighting's sake. I had no desire to avenge the loss against Smith, you know, and I'd been stopped. And if that was me as a young kid, man, totally different. But now it's like, you know, the amount of work it took to win a fight and then to get the satisfaction afterwards. The satisfaction was still there. The feel-good factor inside was still there. But the amount of work that went into it to get that was just getting more and more fight on fight. And then so it was just like, I really want to try something else. I really want to get good at something else, get motivated by something else, and that's what I'm trying to do now. So boxing, still in that honeymoon phase. Who knows? I might change my mind next week.
Callum's kind of coming into that stage now, isn't he, where he's sort of really, you know, generating momentum within in his career. Obviously, having been in with him, how far do you think he can? I know obviously he's world champion, but how far do you think he can now go on at that world level?
Callum's a very good fighter. He's in the he's going to be in the Who Needs Him club, right? And not just because he beat me. Because he's a huge guy for the weight. He's already talking about fighting like heavyweights. Like, you know, he might have earned really good money in that tournament, and then without the profile that sort of will come with it, he's now got to find motivation for the next fight, for the next step. You know, our fight took place 5 months ago. I haven't really heard too much about him since. You know, he hasn't really been linked to too many fights. I think Kovalev was talking.
So, it's always, you know, sort of a little stop-start, isn't it? You know, it's sort of his profile.
So, like, you know, fair play to him. He took his chance. So he had his opportunity against me to fight for a legitimate world title. He took his chance. He won it. Grabbed it with both hands. And, you know, selfishly, I'd love him to go on and do great things, because then, you know, it's like, all right, well, I lost, but he was a great fighter. He's gone on to do great things. But because he's pretty reserved, he's pretty quiet. He don't really engage too much. You know, he's sort of been left on the sidelines, and he is in the Who Needs Him club. You know, you look at all of a sudden, there's been a real shake-up in the super middleweight division. We've got a few new world champions, a couple emerging, but you know, where does Callum sort of fit in? You know, I don't know why he didn't get the Canelo fight. Rocky Fielding got the fight in front of him. You know, or why hasn't he been linked to Canelo after? Of course, Canelo's not going to fight someone as big as him. He's going to go back down, or he's going to pick another hand-picked middleweight. But he should be in and amongst it. You know, he should be putting himself out there. He should be on people's tongues. You know, he should be. You know, if he's the #1 division, he should be the one who's being able to talk about, but he's not. You know, maybe that's just his personality, and he's happy with that. Maybe he's finished with boxing. Who knows? Maybe he's achieved his dreams, and he's going to now struggle for motivation. He's got a few quid in the bank, and he had a kid on the way. Maybe he's had his baby and whatnot. Who knows? But I wish him really well. I hope it all starts to click for him. I hope this was a stepping stone for him to go on to bigger and better things. I hope he gets managed and looked after correctly, because he deserves it. He's been patient. He was a patient fighter. It took him a long time to get his chance, and he finally got it. He took it, you know. So that's to be admired. And so I hope he thanks happens for him now.
And I've got to ask you about the weekend. Obviously, we were on the commentary. You know, a lot's been kind of said, but just to kind of summarise that up in the aftermath. Obviously, Chris Eubank and Degale. What were your kind of thoughts on that fight? Did Chris Eubank surprise you?
No. I mean, I thought Eubank would stop him, because I thought James Degale was sort of a shell of a fighter that he was before. I don't think he's got absolutely. I thought he's got nothing left, and I thought that was evident on Saturday night. I have a vested interest because I've boxed both of them before, so it was hard for me to gauge whether it was a good fight or not. And for me, it was edge of seat stuff, because I know them both and whatever else. But it might have been boring. A few people have said that it was bit of a not much going on, but it looked like every time Eubank landed something, he was hurting him. Safety first, needed the win, so didn't go gun-ho for a stoppage. But fair play to Chris Eubank Jr. He had massive pressure on his shoulders going into that fight. You know, after losing to me and getting so much stick for it, after bringing in a new coach, new training team, going into a high-profile fight that was billed as 50-50. He followed his game plan. He got, he had success with his power shots, and that had a dramatic effect on James Degale. And it was a shutout. It was, I mean, two of the scorecards I thought were really unfair, but the 117, 110, much more in line with how I scored it. Hopefully now this opens a lot of doors for Junior, and he goes on and he can win. He got that IBO world title, but I think he can win one of the major four in the right fight. Getting managed correctly, I think he can.
And I know you've got obviously a strained relationship with Degale, but obviously now he finds himself where generally, I think the general opinion is that his career is probably done. He's finished. How would you sort of advise him now? How would you advise him sort of now? Obviously, prepare.
Pack it in, James. I don't need to advise him. He's just missed his perfect opportunity to retire. He should have retired in the ring after getting beat by Chris Eubank Jr. He could have done it with some humility. He could have won over some general fight fans. That's what he was fighting for. He wants some recognition. He's not going to get recognition for his fighting ability. He might get recognition for his personality. He missed the boat there. He got a little bit put out when I think Eubank said that he was comfortable. It was easy work. He said he's going to go and review. Didn't do a post-fight press conference. He might have gone to a hospital straight after. I don't know. If he didn't, he should have done a press conference. His career's finished. It's finished. I dislike the man. So on a personal note, great. I put that to bed. He wants to compare us both. I beat him in every department. But now, obviously, he's got to call it a day. He's definitely earned some good money. He's got a close family. They all take care of him. So go away, sort yourself out, lick your wounds or whatnot. And that be that. And you're proud of your achievements. He's quick to remind everyone what he's done. So be proud of them. They are significant things. You became world champion. You won an Olympic gold medal. Fair play to you. Away you go. Me personally, great. I never have to hear from you again.
And just to finish off, obviously we're here for the Miller AJ press conference. Obviously you've got association with Miller. What can he kind of bring to this fight to kind of trouble AJ? I think again the popular kind of things you're reading on Twitter, that's an easy fight for AJ. Do you believe that?
Yeah, he's getting a lot of stick, AJ, for taking this fight as an easy fight. It's a logical business move. in that Big Baby Miller's unbeaten heavyweight. He's been very active in the States. You know, he's got a great mouth. He talks up a fantastic game. And Eddie Hearn, who works, you know, with DAZN, he's got this massive platform now that he's taken over in the States, and this is the perfect fight to bring his UK heavyweight over there, put on a show. So it's a logical business sense move, but also not to be underestimated is Big Baby Miller. He's a massive unit to start with. He's supremely confident, and he's definitely under Anthony Joshua's skin, which is almost unheard of.
You got that sense to the beginning.
You know, Joshua is cool, calm, and collected. You know, he's gone into different. There's a different transitional period now in heavyweight boxing in particular. All of a sudden, the villain has become the anti-hero in Tyson Fury. The fact that he's lost all this weight, takes the Wilder fight in a heartbeat, goes out there, gets stitched up, comes back from the dead, gets dropped in the last round. It's almost like he staged that knockdown, because no one comes back to life the way he did. It looks phenomenal, and it's so engaging. It's so poignant for the fight fan out there, especially us Brits, man. That we can empathise with him. You know, when we look at our fighters, we want to be inspired. So Anthony Joshua's an inspiration. You know, we look at him, we go, how does he do it? You know, but also his humility. If we can look at someone and go, I get where he's coming from. You know, I've got troubles in my life. I've struggled with this, and he's struggling. But look what he's done. He's now my inspiration. Look what he's managed to do. I want to be like him. I'm never going to be like Anthony Joshua. I'm never going to have 18 stone of muscle and be 6 or 7. All right, this guy's a big guy, but look at all that weight he's lost. I need to lose a few pounds. You know, so they can all of a sudden, out of nowhere, almost, Fury is every man on the street. He's what everyone's talking about. Plus, he's fascinating, and he's all, you know, he's a maverick. You know, you never know what's coming next. People appreciate that, and they're fascinated by that as well. So Joshua, anyway, back to Joshua, he's changed his tactics now. He's more aggressive. He's maybe following Tyson Fury's lead in that he's swearing out press conferences. That is not Joshua. He's not the blue chip collar sponsor that he is. You know, he's got his holding his Lucozade bottle with one hand. He's calling, I don't give a shit with the other hand. That's not Joshua. It don't really make much sense. So Miller's making Joshua behave differently. I've got to take a long time to get to this point. That's a win for him. That's a win for him. Whether Joshua would have been like that anyway, who knows? But he's gonna have to go to not the Lions Den. But he's gonna have to go to the States. He's gonna have to do something different this time round. It levels the tables a little bit. You know, whether it's enough for Miller. He's a big guy. He's on a real momentum swing. He's unbeaten. He's a winner. Supremely self-confident. He's up for this. I think we're in for a fantastic fight. And again, one thing that is to Joshua's benefit is the humility. I always get that word. I always pronounce that word. But his slight vulnerability, the weakness. You know, he's not chinny. He's not chinny by any stretch of the imagination. But he's a heavyweight. When heavyweights hit you on the chin, you can't go down. You know, in the Povetkin fight, we saw him. He looked like he was semi-buzzed. You know, obviously White now buzzed him in that round. He got knocked out, but you know, White's gone on to prove that he's a good fighter. Klitschko, he got put over, he got up. He buzzed a few times, Joshua. Gives him that air of vulnerability, which makes him a little bit more engaging with British fight fans. You should never shy away from that. I've had it, but that would be something that Miller will look to take advantage of. He'll believe that he's seen him get hurt, he'll believe it can hurt him, and who knows, guys that size, who knows? As long as we're in for a good fight, we're winning, and I anticipate a real good fight.
George Groves, thanks for talking to Fight Up TV. All the best. Good
man. Nice one. Cheers.
Thanks.